What's up guys, it's Miss Vosk. I'm here at the HDD mining shed and today we're going to unload some new Evergreen Tails Edition miners. So if you're curious about some of the stuff I do here at VoskCoin, this is one of them. So we're going to set it up. I've done one or two of these before. Boss said they're just like Legos, so we're going to see if that's true. Let's get to unloading.
If you're looking for other ways to mine and earn passive income beyond hard drive mining, there's Revolution Mining. You can buy miners through them and they will set them up at their own mining farm. You really don't even have to do anything. Learn more and get a discount with the link out in the video description below.
Alright guys, so like I said, this is the Tails Edition Evergreen miner. So this is a Chia miner, it's HDD mining, that's hard drive mining. This is one of the VoskCoin editions that just came in. One of the cool things about this edition is that it comes with a little card. You get your own EVG NFT. So basically you scan the code on the back and then it gives you like a cool little theme in the app. So this box in particular has a hub. So this is kind of like what coordinates all the drives together. And then a drive. So that would be a starter kit. And then this edition is a 20 drive kit. So we're working on setting that up today. So there are 20 hard drives, look like this, that will be hooking up. And so I'll show you some of the connectors and stuff. This also has, one of the cool things I like about the Evergreen miners is that they all sit really nicely on top of each other. You notice they have like a little beveled logo on top. So they just kind of nest with each other. I just think that's a nice little cool feature they have. So we'll be unpacking all of these, setting them up, and I'll kind of walk through what the plugs and everything look like. We also got our surge protector. And then these little USB, and then these little cables here that go into the hubs, or into the drives as well. Evergreen also sends kind of this little setup with the bigger drive kits. So it has a little USBs, and yeah. So if you'll notice, we have a bunch of Evergreen miners going. We're adding more today. And so again, the orange ones are the Tails editions, and then these are some of the original Evergreen miners. And then we got some Juseys over there, and then we're gonna add something new over there soon as well. And then Vosk was really super excited to get this all set up. This is kind of like a field office for us while we're out in the field when we wanna do all this stuff. And then we have our immersion shed next door, and then the pod. So this is a nice little touchdown base for us to just come in. It's HVAC cooled, so it's nice, and it stays pretty warm in here in the winter as well. So we'll go ahead and unpack all of these boxes. And then I also undid all of the cables here, so you'll see when we connect them, but every single drive gets one of these, and then one of these, and then they'll all kind of go into one spot, and then they connect the hub too. There we go. Evergreen does a really good job packing these securely and safely so that none of the equipment gets damaged. I think we've only had like one, maybe two damaged parts, which is a lot considering how many shipments we've gotten for all of it. So they do a good job of making sure everything gets to you pretty nice. And then if you do have a problem, they're super quick to respond and send out a replacement or whatever you need to get your problem fixed. So one of the things we're working on in the shed right now is we need to expand a little bit more, so we're running out of shelf space. So we're gonna get new shelves in here. So for today's deployment, I'm probably just gonna get these configured on the floor, just because there is no shelf space. I want to make sure I can kind of move them around to make sure all the cables can get to everybody. So we'll work on setting that up real quick, and then we'll start getting to the cables. So a lot of these all look the same. Most of them are drives, but you'll notice this is the difference between a drive and a hub. So drive has one, these two, and then hub has all of these. So we'll connect the USB connectors, USB and leaf ray, and then the rest will kind of go from there to connect them all. All right, so I got 20 right there. And I think this is technically the power of a 20 drive kit. So I think they gave us the smaller version. It's maybe the 16 terabytes. So that's why there's 2 extra instead of the 18 terabyte. So I don't know, need somebody to do a little easy math there, but I think that's why there's 2 extra. So we'll see if there's enough connectors here for us to put them together. So I'm just taking the longer ones first, putting them where they're further away, and then grabbing some of the shorter ones that are going to be closer to this. And now we get a lot of crap for some of our wire management, especially in the pod, but just takes a lot of time, especially because people only see like a small amount all at once. They're like, oh, just take a little bit of time and do the wire management. But the pod was definitely a work in progress, because we had so many issues with the miners, and then just working through the PDUs issues and all that, and it was just like we were moving stuff in and out a lot, so it just didn't make sense to do it first. But that's definitely something we're gonna prioritize more moving forward. So it's definitely a little bit more complicated than Legos. But yeah, for those of you that are interested, this is kind of some of the stuff I do here for VoskCoin. I also work really closely with our editors, so I'll kind of review stuff, their video content. I'll work any kind of like emails and stuff that we get, which is a lot of contacts from people who want to reach out to work with us. So that's fun. And then pick up any packages from our business box, do unboxing, all the B-roll, and just that kind of stuff. So kind of the more like marketing, outreach, admin, and ops role, I guess. I don't know. It kind of evolves. It changes based on like week to week what we have going on. But it's fun. Different every day. Also do a lot of the like building of the stuff. So I really enjoy like hands-on stuff. So like any kind of workbenches you see, or shelving, or anything like that, more than likely I kind of. So then we also need Ethernet. That'll go straight to the switch. This guy goes here. Alright guys, so that was a quick setup of the Evergreens. I'm gonna get out of here. And then Vosk is gonna come in. He has the Evergreen app that kind of syncs everything together. He's gonna check to make sure everything is up and running, so I will wait to plug this in. But then just the quick recap for you. We just took all the Evergreens that we had here. We took the little connectors from each one, brought it to the USB connectors, there, a little power supply, and then we did our Ethernet into the switch, plug into the wall, and then each drive got one of those. So if it's working correctly, which fingers crossed it is, Vosk will be able to just come in, boot it up, see if it shows up on the app, see if I did it right. Hopefully it's better than Legos. I'm just kidding. I really like Legos. Alright, so I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna do some more stuff in the field building. That's our little HQ office over there. And let me know if you like this, I guess. I don't know. Okay, bye!
A few moments later.
Oh, let's turn them on. Clicking it on. All right, so we're looking for all these to glow. Good. Oh. That doesn't look good. This needs to be plugged into the splitter. All right. Let's try it again. Fire it up. Blink, blink, blink. That's good. We can see data on the Ethernet at a glance. It's looking good. Wow. What a difference that makes for sound. Honestly, that's truly an incredible difference in sound. It goes from like to. All right, now time to run through the app stuff, see if this thing works. All right, so we blinked the drives, and in particular, we blinked the drive that was registering as basically a bad drive. When you look at the screenshot, you look at this dashboard, you see the C0, you see the nothingness of this drive. That means it's a bad drive. Start the diagnostic mode, click the little dot, and I could blink that particular drive. Super useful feature, happy to see that there. The other bad drive was the solid LED one. So, you know, for whatever reason, these were two bad drives. I did notice that these drives were shipped differently than they normally ship them in the tight packed foam. And so, to be honest, I think that just all the jostling around going from California to Virginia on that drive may have broken or caused some sort of issue with these. This is a unique kit from them because this kit actually has 22 drives instead of 20 drives. It essentially ends up, or is supposed to end up, with the same TB sizing, effective mining space, right? The effective mining hash power or farming power on the Chia XCH cryptocurrency that their 20 drive kits have, but doing it because they moved to 18 terabyte drives, then they moved to 20 terabyte drives. This is supposed to match the 18 drive performance. They're just rapidly iterating and developing their stuff. It's been interesting to see the way that these have changed over time. You see some of my Evergreen miners that I got last year. Those were 3D printed cases. The hubs were Raspberry Pis. Then they moved to rock boards and other versions. And then they also switched, you notice the color change. That's when they switched to injection molds. So our Tails edition that we released with them was injection molded as well. So some of these miners I have bought, but some of these have been either in allocation for doing the limited edition release together, or as part of a campaign to review and just generate more exposure for these Evergreen miners. And you kind of like, well, you know, why would I get one of these? There's a lot of ways to mine cryptocurrency. But one thing in particular I really like about the Chia coin is just going to be the simple fact, right, that they've committed to mining. This is a mineable cryptocurrency, it's supposed to be here to stay. Right, they did have the pre-mine, which is a very controversial subject, but so did Bitcoin. But Bitcoin, a bit different, you know, if you will, without going on a whole trip down memory lane or whatever. It's been very cool to see their progression on power supplies in particular. Look at the wire madness of the original ones, right? You see we have a USB hub. We've got 2 power supplies. I've had a couple of these bricks fail. They're not really the best. They're just kind of, you know, cheap China product. So sometimes they're DOA, dead on arrival. Sometimes they don't last very long. Normally if they run for a couple months, they're probably going to be good to go for a while. They moved to basically putting everything in a box. And here's an example of all of their components in a box. So the hub's in there, the USB hub is in there, and then the power supply is under that. They've tried many different versions. I've been fortunate to basically add an Evergreen miner about every other month over the course of 2023. So I ended up with a lot of different versions of their miners. So we can see even these power supply boxes have changed. This is their most recent one, and I really like the cable sleeve that they've got. This definitely seems, I'm not just saying this, this is their most recent power supply, and it simply seems like their best one. 2 USB hubs in here, set up to, you know, power 20 drives, and then you can actually run a data cable from the hub, and then you can connect even 2 more drives. So this is a configuration that can effectively run at a max 22 hard drives. Ironically, 2 of my drives didn't make it. Another cool thing about this power supply is that there's a button in here which allows you to switch from 120 voltage input to 220 voltage, or 240 volt if you're running single phase electricity, right? So right now in the test phase, I've been running all of my hard drive miners just off of 120 volt, right? I mean, it's a normal wall outlet here in the United States. But if you pay attention, look closely, I've wired this building up with 240 volt. The 120 voltage lines are really just, for convenience, for a possible stage that I ended up in like this. But I've got these L630Rs, 30 amp lines, and the real purpose is to run everything on 240 voltage. You end up with much more density because you're effectively losing half the amperage. This is a 200 amp sub panel coming from my 400 amp service that's right on the back side of this building. And you can see that I've got a couple circuits here wired up for the mini split AC, right? Got all my L630Rs. I have, which there's 4 of them. So I effectively have 120 240 voltage amps here. And then I ran every outlet in what they call a home run. It's its own circuit, it's got its own breaker. So I have an electrical capacity that exceeds my 200 amps that I've allocated to this. I know that and I understand that, and that just gives me the flexibility, right, to run more power in different places if I should choose to do so. And then I got a couple cameras on there and stuff like that. So I ran Ethernet into the building, and that runs into my router right here. So I have hardwired internet. I could just run it off Wi-Fi hotspot, but it's always better to just have hardwired internet. That's going to my switch over here. So every miner in here is mining on hard line internet, and it's a really simple thing. You need the best internet you can get, because if you have any latency that's really high, or downtime, or just especially like connection errors, then you'll lose shares and you'll simply earn less. And well, that's a losing game. My electricity bill for the last month running all these miners that you see, obviously it's not going to include the new kit, which is pulling a little bit over 100 watts estimated. I haven't measured it at the wall yet. But all this gear, including this mini split, keeping it cool in here, which it does run. It's kicked on several times just since I've been recording this clip. My electricity bill at about 10 cents per kilowatt hour was $98. I haven't even looked at the bill if I had some kind of BS charge or whatever. There's a couple reoccurring monthly fees on this service I have with my electric company. But this is an operation that's costing me less than $100. You may see the wall covering in this, right? This is insulated. There's insulation behind here. There's insulation on the roof, and there's double bubble insulation under the flooring here. So this is essentially insulated in every capacity. So now let's jump behind the computer and look at some of the mining profitability. Let's review our HDD mining snapshot of the month. And just kind of everything that's going right, everything that's going wrong. What's that real world mining profitability? Because this is a long-term play. I'm having fun with it. I'm pretty excited about it. And honestly, if this coin pops off, it'll be too late to get in the game. It's not easy to set up Chia farmers. You can definitely DIY it. We got a video on how to, get started with it, and we're gonna do a more advanced build in the next couple months. I always say soon, but it's like I got a lot of open projects I got to work through, particularly the immersion mining farm. Got a lot of work to do on that front on my schedule right now. But anyway, let's jump behind the screen. All right, done a lot since you last saw me here on camera. Let's look at Chia first, right? Chia, the XCH cryptocurrency. Chia uses their own algorithm, PUST, which is basically entirely built around hard drives. It is a hard drive mineable coin. They chose that route for numerous reasons, but the main one being multi-purpose hardware that was energy efficient. Chia right now has a $320 million market cap. It's also putting out a very evenly matched $320,000 of daily emissions. These are newly mined XCH coins. It's up 35% just in the last 7 days. This is great. This is everything you want to see if you already are mining this coin or are thinking about getting into it. There are some things we need to look at, right, with the long term. What changes with Chia next year? Because something very big is changing, for better and for worse. I'll add on that note. Before we move on, I just want to have a huge shout out to Rocket Luke. I mean, look at this freaking legend, right? Those are all VoskCoin Tails Edition Evergreen miners. So yeah, the wallet Chia. Nicely done, Luke. If you've grabbed the limited edition release that we collaborated with Evergreen on, please post it anywhere and tag us. Reddit, Twitter, right? Even freaking Facebook. Obviously our Discord server. I want to see it. That stuff's so cool. Let's kind of take a quick step back and look at the Evergreen options, right? So obviously we're an affiliate with Evergreen. We've worked with them. It's fun. It's engaging. They've helped just us speed run getting a HDD hard drive mining farm up and operational. So if you just want to, do the real basics, right? Try it out. They've got their really basic starter kit here. This is more proof of concept. Check it out, see if you like it, see the noise in person, feel the device, use the app, see if it's, worth going big on. Or maybe this is the top of your budget, or maybe this is a really cool thing to give to like your kid or something to just kind of intro them to mining and cryptocurrency and everything in between, right? But this isn't some kind of cash cow. This is more of a novelty, right? A conversation starter for your desk. We're super excited to see finally a starter kit for the Tails edition. Initially, this wasn't supposed to be possible, but Evergreen made it possible. These are almost sold out too, by the way. Any configuration as a VoskCoin Tails edition. And obviously they're orange. It supports the channel and it comes with a limited edition NFT. And you may say, oh, it's so much more expensive because it's yours. No. This has a upgraded hub that has a lot more capabilities. A bigger hard drive. So the bottom line is it's actually the best value that they have. If you look at 250 TBE, which is terabyte effective, versus their normal Pro kit, it's 214 TBE. The Tails kit is the best kit. And in the future, they're basically going to move their normal kits to essentially be what the Tails edition was without the limited edition NFT and novelty factor, right? But basically the bottom line here, right, is they've got different configurations for probably every budget between $300 and $5,000. $500, $600. The more you spend, the better price you get per drive, right? So you get a better return in that regard. And we're going to look at, the real world mining profitability on these devices. Flexpool went down or quit, whatever, capitulated. Pretty ironic. Huge mistake, in my opinion. Like if you're going to quit now, like times I hope and think are about to get good in crypto. Rookie stuff. They switched over to Space Farmers. Honestly, I hate Space Farmers, especially with multiple Evergreen miners on here. If we contrast this with my other Chia miner, I've got my Jusey over on Pool Space, and it's very simple, clear cut. I don't like it as much as I like the user experience on Flexpool, but I definitely like it a lot more than Space Farmers. So these are all my different miners that I have here. So we click on one and it brings up the page like this. This is a 20 drive 18 terabyte kit with C5 compression. Okay, so to put it simple, right, C3 was like a 20% compression boost. C5 is a 25% compression boost. So to put that in real simple terms, if you have 100 terabytes and you compress them at the C5 level for Chia mining, you are essentially mining with 125 terabytes effectively, effective hard drive mining space. The drives don't actually fill up 100%, so you end up with something more like 122 TBE, but that's true that 100, physical space is never truly 100 physical space. It's probably like 98 or something. So that's the quick way to try to explain this. Space Roamers gives you a lot of data, but it's really just not all that helpful. The dashboard ramps up and down slowly. I'll show you more about that. One thing I really do like though, about what they have is they track your blocks like every Chia mining pool does, but they give you the effort. So you can see I'm terribly unlucky with this rig lately. I was supposed to hit a block at 100%. That's the average it takes. So every time you hit a block in Chia farming, Chia mining, then you get 0.25 coins sent directly to your wallet. It never touches the pool. It's one of the coolest things, right? Imagine that mining any other crypto out there. You are the actual one that hits the block, right? A mining pool is a collective of a bunch of miners. You pool all your hash rate together and you split all of the rewards. But to get like a true, finder's fee, it's freaking cool. It's fun. It's motivating. And it's really just a fun stat to be like, yeah, I personally mined 23 blocks on that blockchain. Something to be proud of, nerd out about it. But the point is, in this time frame, I should have hit 2 blocks. I've hit none. How do the payouts look though? I mean, this is the big kit. So if we look at the unpaid rewards, we're sitting here at $3. If we look at the daily payout, I'm mining about 0.9 to 0.1. We're going to kind of take the average right there. You see 0.107. This might be slightly optimistic, but we're going to take the higher end of just simply 0.1. So with that rig, I'm mining $3.45 per day. And Chia's been going up. So looking at the dollar amount, it's cool. It's enjoyable. This is not a super lucrative endeavor, right? I mean, this is a rig that costs several $1,000s. And it's making literally a couple to several $3, tree fitty. We're making tree fitty a day. I get that. I'm not trying to push this on you or, this video is not about making an affiliate sale or whatever. No, like this is just real world mining data. This is a review. And I think the better times are to come. And honestly, I think this is a lot of fun. I've had so much fun with the hard drive mining project. And some people get too fixated on, the ROI, right? If you want to go grab the most profitable miner, look at all of our videos last week on the Caspa miners. I mean, my KS3 still earning like $200 a day. It's insanely profitable. But for how long? Chia is going to be mined for many, many, many years. I hope the project sticks around and is successful, right? And people thought Bitcoin mining wasn't worth it, 7 years ago. And now everybody in the world wishes that they would have mined Bitcoin 7 years ago, or they don't understand how much things have changed in the last 7 years. And I hope Chia is going to kind of be that way. Will it? I don't know. But if we look at compare the market cap to Caspa, which is all the rage lately, if Chia was worth as much as Caspa right now, it would basically 10x. And then it would be trading at $3.37 a coin. I'm hodling every single coin I mine, okay? I'm all in on this on that front. So I'll get all the appreciation of those coins going up in value. One, in retrospect, if it is ever super lucrative, it will be super lucrative for a long time for me, not just like in the current day, in the now when it pumps. Also, if you want to try to build out a hard drive mining farm when things are really profitable and crazy, good luck. Chia, honestly, I think 10x's, it will pretty much cause a worldwide hard drive shortage. And some people may laugh and think that sounds dramatic, but think about graphics cards and GPU mining. All it took was a couple cryptocurrencies to be really profitable for GPU mining, largely just really simply Ethereum, and it pushed graphics card prices to all-time highs. And they never really left. It's no wonder gamers hate us. The irony is that most of us are or were gamers. Well, maybe I shouldn't speak for you. Are you a gamer? Let me know down in the comments. I'm a gamer. I love gaming. But I spend most of my time on other things these days. So let's bring it back to the rigs and then we'll talk about some other stuff and kind of round out the video. It's been a little while since I made a Chia farming update, HDD mining update. So here's another rig. I really don't love the data I get here on the pool. It's hard to decipher, if I'm really mining at full capacity. Like if I have a hard drive down, do I? Because you may notice, like, this is TIB, okay? And if we go TIB, right, because that's not terabyte, if we go TIB to terabyte, that's 200. And then you're like, well, I think that's my rig, right? That's got 18 terabyte drives, and I've got 10 of them. So it's 18 times 10, right? So we've got 180 terabytes times 1.25, which means we would effectively have 225 terabytes of mining space. Here's another rig. Recently had a power outage. The rig went down, restarted everything. It didn't automatically come back online, did another reset, and this one came back up. So this is another rig that effectively never really skipped a beat. Same with this one, even with the power outage. And the same case here. So this is the latest rig, and let's really talk about the latest rig. So this rig went down and never really came back right. So I did a bunch of troubleshooting with Evergreen over the past couple of days. I had a couple bad drives on this 22 drive kit. Turns out that 3 hard drives developed issues somewhere along the way. A couple things were fixed with software on this rig, but a couple things weren't. So they're going to send me 3 replacement hard drives. They've been responsive. They've helped me troubleshoot this. And I know, it's like, take it with a grain of salt. Like, you're a YouTuber, Vosk. Of course they helped you. You're public. So yeah, that's true. But I've heard from other people that they've had good customer service. So if you're having a single problem, don't get mad. Don't get all upset. Like, shoot them an email, open a ticket, hit them up on Discord. You can post a thread on VoskCoin Talk. I'll send it to them and they'll respond there. You can tag their founder in our Discord server in the HDD mining chat at DROSE. You'll get the help if you want the help, and we're here to stand by our subscribers, and only our subscribers. I'm just kidding, or am I? That stand by you guys and make sure that we kind of flex whatever leverage we have and try to get you the best experience possible when it comes to anything. What's weird about this rig too is the way that it's set up is basically half the drives are showing up on one harvester ID, which is this number, and the other half are on another harvester ID. The issue, was related to the hub in conjunction with the drive. So basically on both sides of the rig facing the same issue. I don't like the way that Space Farmers has split this into 2 different rigs. I don't think that would have been the case on Flex. So I really can't say this any louder. I'm hoping we move to a different mining pool, or Space Farmers basically just rebrands themselves to Flex Farmers. I don't mean to sound mean, guys, but like it's a really unenjoyable experience. It's not good. A key thing that you need to be aware of, okay, and I just want to make sure you know this before you jump face first into it, is that there's a halving in 102 days. It's going to cut the block reward in half, simply put, right? So if nothing changed, the rewards would go down 50%. But the emission's huge, and honestly, I think that puts a lot of sell pressure on Chia. There's also the big Chia pre-mine that the Chia company, which is a centralized entity, has. So, take with that with a grain of salt and just understand this. I'm not trying to, mislead you or get anything by you or anything. If anything, I actually want you as informed as you can possibly be and soak up as much info as possible. Fun fact, if Chia had the market cap of Dogecoin, Chia would have a price of $1,082 per coin. Dogecoin, legendary, but just a meme coin. So let's round out this video. The bottom right behind me, chair's not listening. XCH has a supply of 9.1 million. On November 30th, the price was $26, so it's gone up significantly. Just in the last week or so, very significantly. Throughout the course of November, we were able to increase our Evergreen miners by about 50%. So it was a huge increase in the size of our hard drive mining farm. Our goal for 2023 was to achieve 1 petabyte of deployed hard drive miners. We have another rig on order and are really trying to hit 2 PB of physical hard drive space to close out 2023. To be frank, I'm really going to slow down with the hard drive mining farm really after we hit the 2 PB mark. Simply because, we're getting closer and closer to the halving. And this has been a very expensive endeavor. We have bought some of our miners, and we also have received some to review and other like promotional purposes, right? But the hard drive mining shed alone was a very expensive endeavor, right? I buy the structure. It's insulated. There's a wall covering. There's insulation in the floor. We have the electric service that needs to be installed. All of the electric work, the panel. I mean, it's expensive. I'm about to probably buy some nice shelves for it if the ones I have won't really kind of fit and be the right setup for it in there. I mean, boom, there goes, hundreds of dollars. And this is a mining endeavor that right now I'm earning about 20 bucks a day with all of my hard drive miners. So again, when you look at the dollar amount, it's really not all that lucrative. But if Chia 10X's, it'll all be worth it. And I'm mining Chia today, tomorrow, next year, and also in 5 years. I'm not gonna sell these rigs. These are gonna run forever. This is super low cost. And I think that not enough people understand and fixate on that. Like, this whole rig costs 100 watts. My whole hard drive and mining endeavor, which is capital heavy, right, costs less than one Bitcoin miner as far as electricity and the electricity bill. So this is a much more accessible form of mining. And it's weird that a lot of people don't seem to fixate on that. This is going to be the first thing I want to just be completely powered by solar on the VoskCoin mining farm. And I'm also going to install some batteries with it to really move this thing off grid and also save myself from any kind of power blips, because that's been a big pain with a lot of these hard drive miners. For me, it's a fun project, and I'm playing the 5-year game. Too many people are focused on tomorrow and today. Like, everybody wants to be rich tomorrow or break even and get their returns, ASAP. I get it, but it's the people who play the long game who make it out the best. And it's not financial advice. It's just what I'm doing. So, but basically to kind of round out where we're at, we hit 3 blocks last month. Honestly, terrible for our actual capacity of Chia farming. A lot of the space you see wasn't really actively mining. We had to do a lot of troubleshooting over the last month, receiving some of these miners pretty late in the month. So I'm hoping December we see a more realistic earnings and return with this. Keep in mind that the net space, which is basically the network hash rate for Chia farming, continues to go up month over month. It's approaching a new all-time high, and Chia isn't even close to an all-time high. So people, people like me are placing their bets accordingly. We'll see how it works out. 12.28 XCH mined. And that's not a huge dollar sum again, but my monthly returns, including the block rewards for this last month, were $424. It's been interesting seeing a lot of the criticism and feedback on this endeavor. People are quick to criticize, but what are you doing instead and why? One, I think this is cool. I'm playing the long game. It's fun. It's engaging. And that has a tangible value for me in itself, right? And at the end of the day, I think that this will pay off eventually. And let's not forget that I'm sitting on now 114 hard drives. These are all 16 terabytes or bigger hard drives. You think that those don't have a great tangible street value as we enter an era of just everything being super data heavy, right? I could sling those all day for $100. Let's do some basic math. That's 11 grand. Obviously, that doesn't match the input. To be frank, I think these carry a higher value than just 11 grand as well. But if everything comes crashing down, right, I could sell the coin I've got, salvage the hard drive value, and put that against the coin that I was able to sell out of, right? Then I've got Raspberry Pis, rock boards, and other miscellaneous hardware in there that has tangible value. And you don't really get that with an ASIC miner. An ASIC miner is incredibly lucrative. It's incredibly valuable when it's a high earner, and then it's like you can't even give them away. So as always, it's never a dull moment. It's an exciting time. I'm pushing forward. To be frank, I'm a little tired. I feel like I'm really burning out in the bear market. But it's like, now's the time to build. And when we hit the bull run this time, like, I'm looking to slow down some and operate efficiently. It's not going to be a massive time for building and expanding, especially my mining endeavors. Now, I'm going to be focused on the trading aspect. You know, over the last year, I've been focused on building the mining farm, expanding the mining farm, refining the mining farm, buying crypto, expanding my holdings, stacking crypto, staking crypto, deploying my capital, getting all my stuff working for me, setting myself up for success. So, hey, nobody knows the future, but all I know is I'm playing the game, and I'm in it in every way, shape, and form. So if you're still watching this video, because I know this is going to end up being a long one, I just want to say seriously, thank you. I appreciate you. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. 1 million subscribers is a lifelong goal for me. And I really think and believe that we can just smash right into that in the next bull run. So I'm going to keep chugging away, try to bring you guys entertainment and value and information. And well, I hope that makes it worthwhile to stick around. So on that note, let's close this out with 10 seconds Tails. We do that on every single video. Why? Because she's our CAO. She's our Chief Awesome Officer. Yeah, it's because she's awesome. We don't really need to explain it anymore. Look at her LinkedIn. That's what it says. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next one.